Hi, I'm JJ. And
I'm Eric.
He's my husband. And we are here to talk about the 10 top results that we've gotten from eating a proper human diet.
And they are magnificent results. How long have we been doing this?
Oh boy, you had to ask that. I've been doing it since October of 2022.
And I have no idea when I started. Because I've been doing this on and off. Like, I did keto a long time ago.
Well, there's been a lot of off and on.
But I think it's probably around the same time. Was it before that? She's the rememberer of the family. She remembers me all the time, and I forget everything, always.
So basically what we've done is that we have come up with 5 results each.
Yes, let's start.
So let's start. So we'll start with number 5.
Okay.
My number 5, I am the designated cook in the family. He's the cleaner-upper after cooking. And cooking has gotten to be so much easier since we've adopted a proper human diet, which we should talk about a little bit of what that is.
Yeah, in this context, we're talking about carnivore, ketovore, keto.
Yeah.
And some time restriction.
More
for her than me.
Yeah. So cooking, most meals, I'm making meat. Period. And that has revolutionized how I have to look at meat. And shopping. Cooking and shopping. Holy cow. Much, much simpler with the proper human diet.
Yeah, we don't have to worry about bagging up broccoli and bringing it home and then throwing it away later.
Don't use that B word with me.
So that 5 was cooking for you.
Yeah, what's your 5?
Well, I didn't order mine, but I'm going to just start with total elimination of acid reflux. I went actual carnivore, and I did the 30 days of beef, bacon, butter, and eggs because kind of out of desperation. And it was kind of a miracle because I've been having reflux since I was in my 20s when I realized that eating a box of Pop-Tarts for breakfast was no longer sustainable. But I didn't really understand how much it was attributable to eating carbs. And it didn't matter what kind. If it was a green, leafy, or a piece of bread or spaghetti, it was all the same.
You've tried everything.
Yes.
Over the last decades.
Yes.
Yeah, so that was incredible. Hey, that was a benefit for me too.
Okay, number 4.
All right, number 4 is weight for me. Since I have started eating a proper human diet, I have lost 22 pounds. And I want to be really specific on this, is that it was a slow, sustainable weight loss. It took me, it was quite a while before I even lost any weight. And then I started to lose about a half a pound average per week. So it wasn't a quick thing, but I definitely saw a reduction in weight and body recomposition. Lost 3 inches in my waist, and yeah, just feel so much better in my body right now.
Yeah, that would also be my next one, even though if I even glance at keto, I immediately lose 5 pounds. It just is almost effortless.
He's a man. You know how that goes, women.
But keto wasn't enough to resolve the number 3 one, which I'm going to go straight to.
All right.
Which was IBS. I have been having gut pain and bloating and stuff for, decades. And even when I was doing keto, I was having that issue because I was trying to pack in a bunch of green leafies so I could have a balanced diet. And what I didn't understand was that my gut wanted no part of that. It hated it, and it told me, but I ignored it because I thought I was doing it a favor.
I remember when you started on the Sisson big salad.
Oh, yes. The BAS salad.
The BAS salad. And I noticed as his partner, an effect on him that was not good. But I don't even bring it up because he was trying to do the right thing.
I started eating that salad as someone who absolutely detested salads.
Yeah, you did.
And now I love them, and I don't eat them because they make me sick.
Yeah. That was a big benefit.
Number 3?
Number 3 for me, I've been doing hormone replacement therapy for years and very closely monitored by my hormone doctor. And my natural levels have gone up, which means my HRT doses have gone down. And I think that's a great sign of my body really getting with it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
we're on we're number 2?
I'm on 3.
You're on 3. I did 3 because that was the IBS.
Okay.
I have 6.
Oh, I've got an extra I can throw. I can
Okay.
throw in a bonus.
So I'm going to move on to the next one. This one was really kind of interesting. I had been on an SSRI for about a year and a half, and it was for a combination of a little bit of OCD associated with anxiety, and it was pretty bad for many, many, many years. And I had resisted the med for a long time, and eventually, out of desperation, I went on it, and it worked, and I did really well. But after being on carnivore, and I was feeling pretty good, I was like, you know what, I think I'm kind of want to try to wean off of this. And under a doctor's protocol, I did. And a couple of things were interesting. One is I had some side effects of the weaning off, but they were not severe and they were not debilitating. Of course, that's just me. And also, once I was completely off of it, I didn't notice any difference. So I attribute that to not only a lot of hard work that I've done, but also to the proper human diet, because there's something about maybe the ketones or maybe just getting rid of the inflammation out of the body. But wow, I'm really grateful to not have to be on that.
I was grateful when you went on. And I'm grateful that you can come
Everybody who encountered me was grateful that they didn't want to hear again my stories.
So my number 2, I'm going to call food freedom. So I didn't do a ton of dieting in my life. I did Weight Watchers after my pregnancy. And then we've done things throughout the years, but I've never been really serious about a diet. Yet, what I realized when I started the Proper Human Diet was how much I was snacking, and just that food did have a little more pull for me. I was constantly thinking about what I was going to put into my mouth, and when we could eat, and when we're traveling, oh my gosh. I also have gluten issues, pretty severe gluten issues. And so where am I going to get food that I can eat that's not cross-contaminated? So going on the Proper Human Diet, I'm not eating 6 times a day anymore. And I can actually go long periods of time on a travel day or a workshop day or whatever it might be. I can go without eating and not have to worry at all.
Yeah, she does time-restricted eating, and she can fast until 2 or 3 or 4 if you need to.
Yeah,
you don't typically do that.
No, not typically, but yeah, I can totally do a 24-hour.
I've done some of that, but I just am starving in the morning, so I eat. I don't worry about it. What number are we on?
We're getting down, number 1, but we have a bonus.
Yeah, right. So I'm going to do the bonus.
Okay.
Not that it matters. Obviously, I'm following my blood work on this, and one of the things that I've been seeing over the past decade is my A1C starting to creep up. Now, I was never diabetic. It probably peaked out at 5.6, 5.7 a couple of times.
That's pretty, isn't it?
Yeah, it's kind of,
Getting in
I had elements of metabolic syndrome. And so even though I think in the context of our lives and in the people and our families and stuff, no one would have looked at either of us and said, you guys are way overweight.
No.
Now, obviously, I had plenty to shed. My BMI was above where the target is, but
Mine too.
we all know how to critique the BMI, so it's to our advantage.
Yep.
But I couldn't critique the body composition score that I got. And while it wasn't terrible, it wasn't where I wanted it. And I could see the trajectory of where I was headed, and I didn't want to go there. So I've used the CGM many times to see how my diet affected my blood sugar. And but after doing the carnivore for 30 days, I did quite a significant blood panel, and it was remarkable. I think my A1C was down to like 5.1 or something. But I had also gotten my fasting insulin was down to 3.5.
Nice.
Which was excellent, yeah.
So I'll go to my bonus one as well.
You're skipping number 1?
I'm saving number 1 for number 1.
It's the number 1 bonus.
It's the number 1 bonus. Okay. So my bonus is allergies. So I had gone about 5 years with pretty severe, some sort of an environmental type allergy. The big thing was my eyes burned all the time. I could not wear makeup for 5 years. And I had to be even really super careful about what type of cleanser or moisturizer I would use because my eyes were so in such a state of allergy burning all the time. And this actually started with the time restricted eating. I started the time restricted eating in March of 2021, I think. Anyway, within 2 weeks of doing time restricted eating, and again, this was before I went more carnivore, within 2 weeks, my allergies had begun to clear up almost completely. And within a month or so, I was able to wear makeup again, which was, I'm not a huge makeup person, but it's nice to be able to put a little mascara on the lashes. So
I can only imagine.
yeah.
Okay, so we're moving to our bonus number ones.
My number one.
Okay, why don't you go first?
Okay. My number one. I've mentioned that I had some gluten issues in the past. We'll get into our health history more in depth later. But one of the things that I've had was extreme hormone dysregulation and fatigue since I was about 30. And eliminating gluten helped. I've done things along the way that have really helped. Yet when I started adopting the proper human diet, my energy is good. It's most days. Sometimes there's a bad night of sleep or something, but most days my energy is good. My energy is sustained. And one of the things I just told him about last week was that I feel resilient. And in the past, I had exercise, what is that called? Intolerance. Exercise intolerance. When my daughter was little, if I took her to the fair or something, it would take me 2 or 3 days to recover from that. So being able to have energy and resilience and the clear mind that comes from that is the top number one benefit for me.
Yeah, I would actually agree with that about you. Remember you used to have baditude?
Yes.
I would say you've got baditude. Go take a nap.
Bad attitude. Baditude.
And she was, you napped a lot.
I did.
And you needed it. And I was happy when you were doing it.
Like a toddler.
So my number one is amazing hair regrowth.
It's incredible.
Yeah. It's invisible, which makes it easy to care for. I save a lot on shampoo. It's filthy right now. No, it is return to excellent blood pressure. Now, I have this thing about blood pressure where just the subject makes me irate, and then it makes my blood pressure go up. Mm-hmm. Because I had very bad, what do you call that, white coat?
White coat syndrome.
Hypertension, where I would go in there and their cuff machine would explode. And
you just have to look at it and it would start.
And they'd try to medevac me someplace to say, you're instantly going to be dead. And I'm like, no, because if I test it at home where I'm relaxed and not afraid of what you're going to see on this machine, it's pretty much normal. However, even testing it at home, it was a little erratic. It was kind of confusing to me. But after really just doing carnivore, the inflammation just, and my blood pressure is just absolutely excellent every time. And even when I go into contexts where someone else is taking it, it's way better. So it might have been, 180 over something in that context, and now it would be 122 over 80 or something like that, where they're like, well, it's not perfect. I'm like, well, that's in the margin of error. And then when I measure it at home, it's, 117 over 75 or something.
Which is, I don't know if I've ever heard you, with some of the readings you've had, be that low.
Oh, yeah, it's great.
Your at-home readings.
So, and part of that is psychological benefit of I can see that I'm healthier on all of these things. And so when you see that you're healthier, you believe you're healthier, and then you're healthier yet because you believe it.
Yep.
It's a virtuous cycle. So that is our...
Top 12.
Yeah.
Top 12.
Yeah, there's a lot. And I wish that we would have discovered this in 1970, period. But unfortunately, us Gen Xers got to go through the low-fat aerobics, healthy whole grain phase. Mm-hmm.
But now we're here now, and looking forward to our next several decades.
Well, hopefully this was interesting and helpful. We obviously cannot give you any sort of advice about what to do, but this is what has been working for us.
So thank you for watching. Like this video, subscribe if you'd like, and we will bring you more to